Good morning, everyone. Very good. How's everyone today? Yeah, good. It's like a Sunday sermon, like going to church. Okay, so today, we're gonna do maybe 30 minutes meditation to start it off, sort of like dedicated to the Bondi Beach incident, sort of like sending good energy to those who were affected in any negative ways. Yeah, so sending our good intentions or good energy towards them by generating some meditation energy, yeah? And I'll just, kind of guide you a little bit in the beginning, and then we'll sit about for 30 minutes, yeah, approximately, yeah? Is that okay? Yeah? Okay, so we're doing some good merit for those people. Okay, so get into a comfortable position and ask your body, how are you? And how would you like to sit? What can I do to make you most comfortable? And allowing the body to get in a state of relaxation. And I'm going to do a quick, just a body scan, just to relax the body parts by parts. Just start it off. So I like to start off with my toes, just giving them a wiggle. Feel the sensations, and then moving to the bottom of the feet. And just the whole feet. And moving up to the ankles. Just kind of massaging, stretching, easing any tensions. Moving up to the calves. To the knees. The thighs. The buttocks. Moving up to the lower back. The mid back. And the upper back. And giving it a stretch. And moving up to the shoulders. Also giving it a stretch. Moving down to the arms. Elbows. Forearm. Wrist. Hands. And fingers. Now we move to the stomach region. And just relaxing, massaging any discomfort in the stomach. moving up to the ribs area, up to the chest. Focusing on the heart and lungs, especially the heart area. See if there's any tightness or tension, and you can just relax and stretch those muscles. Moving up to the neck. Giving it a check. Then moving up to the facial area. I like to give myself a big smile to stretch my cheek muscles. And then moving up to the muscles around the eyes. And then the eyeballs, I like to sort of just twirl them around to give them a massage. And then moving up to the crown of the head, checking to see if there's any headaches or pain in that area, and just giving it a massage. And now the body's fairly relaxed. And so we do a last check of the entire body, see if there are any parts that we missed out on or need to double a little bit more attention. And just kind of relax and ease any parts that are still stiff or achy or uncomfortable. And so the body is fairly good enough, just so you allow it to be. And just set it down. And sort of just walk away, allow the body to look after itself. And turn your attention inwards to the realm of the mind. Your emotion, the places where thoughts and emotion reside. And so, for now, we put down the burden of the past. So imagine it's like a heavy suitcase. And just put it down in your left hand. The past, P-A-S-T. Just putting down the burden of the past for a while. So you could rest. So imagine that, putting down that suitcase. And on your right hand, there's a suitcase called the future. And it's also very heavy. very burdensome. So put that suitcase down, and you feel lighter and much freer. And when you put down the burdens of the future and the past, what's left is the present moment, the here and now. So how does that feel? How does the present moment feel like? Man, whatever you're experiencing in the moment, have this attitude of kindness and care for this, whatever's happening in the moment, allowing whatever that's coming up to be, caring for it like your pet, your cat or your dog or your child. You're caring for it, allowing it to be. Now when you're kind and caring to whatever you're observing or watching, that tends to calm down. So if any thoughts that come up, you're kind and caring to the thoughts, allowing it to be, and the thoughts calms down. It's not as agitated. The magic ingredient of kindness. So we're coming close to the end of the meditation. So noticing the peace, the calm, the joy that arises from the meditation. And you can feel the energy, the beautiful, joyful, bright energy, and kind of just spread that energy out into the world. Just like the Metta Sutta said, spreading up to the sky, below, all around, without limit. Just sharing that with everyone. Now we'll ring the gong 3 times, and please listen carefully to each sound and come out whenever you're ready. Oh, welcome back, everybody. How did that go? Yeah, good? Yeah, so I guess the meditation kind of points you in the right direction, yeah? Like sort of pointing where peace is, where calm and peace and real true happiness really lies. Lies within our own heart, our own mind. We don't have to go searching for it outside. But we have the tendency to look outside and not inside. So, and here's a Nasruddin story to go with that. So I just introduce you to Nasruddin for those who don't know. Mullah Nasruddin is a Sufi mystic of the Islamic, early Islam. And he's a meditator, and he has a white turban and sort of white robe. So he's sort of like a cheeky character. That's why I like him so much. So some of you probably just here for the Nasruddin stories, yeah? Okay, so one day Nasruddin was outside at nighttime under a street lamp. He was looking for his keys, yeah? So the neighbor came by and said, "Oh, what are you looking for, Nasruddin?" "Oh, I'm looking for my key. I lost it." "Oh, well, where did you lose it?" "Oh, I lost it in the house." "And why are you doing it out here?" "Well, the light is better out here." Yeah? I think some of you probably heard that one. But it fits into the meditation as in like, we're looking in the wrong place for happiness. We're looking for, so we lost the key inside, so we should be looking inwards, inside our own heart and mind. That's where the answer is. That's where the key is. But we often look for it outside because the light is better outside. Yeah. So looking inwards, I think that's one of the key terms, the Buddhist terms, yoniso manasikara, which meaning the work that goes to the womb, the work that goes inwards. So that's a big Buddhist term, yoniso manasikara, the work of the mind that goes to the womb, the heart of things, where things come from. And Ajahn Brahm, I think, he gave a recent talk about that and his take on it. So his take was, why? Why? You're always asking why in life. Why am I in this situation? Why did this happen to me? Why am I here now? What were the causes and conditions that kind of brings you to this moment now? So that's like sort of like paticca samuppada, which is like dependent origination, a little bit what you were asking. So asking why did this come about? Why was I born? What was the cause of being born and stuff like that? And you investigate. Those of you who believe in rebirth, and you can, understand the law of karma and why that, why we're propelled to get reborn again and again. So asking why is very important because it kind of keeps the mind looking for the answer, and that's I think that's. My upbringing was sort of like that. In back of my subconsciously, I always thought, "Oh, why? What's the cause of this? Why am I here now? What's the cause of my experience right now?" And when you sit and meditate, and that question, sort of like it's subverbal, the mind kind of goes inwards into investigating what's in this body and this mind. It kind of settles down and kind of goes deep inside, keeps going deeper and deeper in. And when you go deep in, the outside kind of fades, yeah. The five senses fade, the body fades, the sounds, smells, taste, touch. All those things kind of fades away. And then you're going into more of the realm of the mind. The mind is sort of like where fantasies are, where you can imagine things. That's the mind. And the mind can be very powerful. As you can know, some of you have very good imaginations. When you read books, you can really, it's like a movie, but much better than a movie, yeah, because the mind can create all these details that movie directors cannot. So sometimes reading a book is actually better than watching a movie. Some of you probably know that, those bookworms out there. Yeah. So that's the realm of the mind. And then the more you kind of look into the mind, you can see how powerful, how subtle, how sublime it is, how tasty the piti sukha, the bliss of it. It's very, very subtle but very tasty. That's how I put it. Taste, in the sense of tasting. It's very satisfying. It's like eating a nice meal, your favorite meal at home, and you're fully satisfied. Mom's cooking, Christmas dinner, mom's cooking something really nice. It satisfies you fully. You're no longer hungry. But if you're like, seeking happiness or pleasure outside, you'll say you watch a movie or a show. There's always another show to watch, isn't there? It's like you watch that movie. No, it's not. Oh, I want to see the next sequel. What's the next movie coming out? It's never done with. There's always like what's the latest movie they're remaking? And any remakes or any new sequels come? Anybody? Avatar. There we go. Okay, so maybe a remake of Avatar or part 2, part 3, part 4. It never ends. It's never ends because people, the money makers, the corporation know the people are looking for the next one. So that's what I'm talking about. the taste of meditation, of the Yoniso Manasikara is very deep. It satisfies you 100%, and gets more and more satisfying. The more inwards you will go. The more you go in, the deeper you go in, the more satisfied you are. It satisfies you for days, for weeks, for years. And that's why the Buddha said, this is the path to happiness, the Eightfold Path. So he's pointing you to in a very different direction from what the world is moving. The world is moving in one direction, and the Buddha is pointing you to go the opposite direction. And just try it out, You don't have to take the Buddha's word for it, but, kind of like investigate for yourself. That was like Buddhism, and because the Buddha never say, oh, just listen blindly to what I say. He says to investigate for yourself. Look for yourself. And I like that because it's your own wisdom, your own experience that tells you, not some God or some guru telling you what you should believe, but just telling you the instructions, the direction to follow. Yeah? So, yeah. So that's pretty deep, going to Yoniso Manasikara. I like that word. It sounds very nice. Yoniso Manasikara. It sounds like very very deep. So it's a good term, and it's pointing you in the good direction. And it's simple. It's not too many steps. It's just going inwards, letting go of the outside. And yeah, so that's the way we're going, going against the grain of the world. And okay, let me see if I can bring up another Nasruddin story. All right, another Nasruddin story. Okay, so Nasruddin was going to one of these Turkish bathhouses, the bathhouses, and he was badly dressed. And so the attendants gave them only a scrap of soap and an old towel. Yeah, he was poorly dressed. And then when Nasruddin finished with his bath, he came out and gave the bath attendants 2 gold coins, 1 each. And they were amazed. Wow, we should have treated him better. He would have given us a lot more if we would treat him better, yeah? So the next time Nasruddin came to the bathhouse, they treated him very well. They gave him the massage, the best of soap, best of everything, yeah? And when he left, he gave them 2 copper coins, yeah? And he said to them, the gold coins were for this time. The copper coins were for the last time. Yeah, he's a very clever man. So in the Dhamma, we have to be clever. We have to be kind of like rebellious in a way, kind of go against the grain, not following what everyone is doing, sort of like Nasruddin, Yeah. So for this it's Christmas holiday at the moment, yeah, coming up. So everyone's sort of like, yeah, we're happy, we're celebrating, and we're a bit stressed at the same time for some of you that have big families and big preparation out there, or work, family, kids, and all that. Yeah, I could see sort of like a bit of some challenges out there, but looking forward to the future with positivity. Maybe if we look into the news too much, keep watching the news, you see all these, negative news that kind of go on the headlines because they kind of capture our attention. It's coarse things capture our attention very quickly, and also it drains your energy very quick at the same time. You get a hit, the headline, very stirred up, feels. And then there's the down, the depression that comes up there. You lose energy, you get angry, or you get upset. So sort of like looking to the future with positivity, meaning focusing on the good things in life. There's a lot of good things that are going on, especially, here in Melbourne, in Buddhism in Australia. There's a lot of good people are here. You know, when I meditated here this morning, I can feel that good energy from everybody. Sort of like a joyous kind of like, you know, brightness. It's sort of like people are happy here, or have good hearts, are good hearted, want to do good things, want to give, want to serve, want to do good. And so we try to focus on that. Ajahn Brahm would say, water the flowers, not the weeds. So water the positive emotions and positive things that you do in your life. Focus on that. And then when you focus on the positive, you will do more positive things. You will see the good in it, and the good will grow. It will grow more and more. But most of the time, we don't do that. So that's sort of like maybe the media captures too much of our attention. But actually, the world, or Australia anyway, where we live, has a lot of positive things. We got the Buddhist Society here. We, you know, have like Dhamma talks every week, meditations every week. We have the SOS Retreat Center where people can go and, you know, take weekend or 9-day retreats. Now that is really awesome. You know, those of you who are into meditations, please use that facility. Go and attend some of the retreats there. We have very good teachers there, and that's gonna really help everyone, kind of brighten your mind, calm you down, get you a perspective on life, seeing that life is not all that bad. You know, there's a lot of good things, a lot of good people, and you are part of that here, and continue to do that. Don't just say, oh yeah, you know, I just do a little bit here. I just volunteer once a week, doing whatever, cleaning up, doing the sounds or the technical stuff. But no, every little bit counts. Even a little bit of kindness, a little bit act of generosity helps a big deal when collectively everyone does a little bit. When we get together and do a little bit together, it becomes a big ball of merit for everybody. Just like how we were sending merit out into the world earlier, I can feel that good energy coming out. Yeah, it's a big ball of energy, unbounded, unlimited, you know, apamata, unbounded, unlimited. And when we attend to those states of mind, it becomes bright and big, and we're happy. We see that in each other. Like Ajahn Brahm says, one of his saying that I really take on board is, what you see in others is what they show you back. Isn't that true? If you see the good in others, the caring, the kindness, they show you back more of that. Yeah? Isn't that true? Can you see that happening when you see good in others? So see good things in other people. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes people having a bad day or tired, you know, please give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't put them down. Just say, oh yeah, you know, I have bad days. Other people have bad days. It's normal. That's being a human being. And that kind of forgiveness and kindness of giving people the benefit of the doubt, it kind of makes you feel good. It's like, oh, I don't need to judge other people. Who am I to judge? I don't know them. I can't even judge myself, right? Most of you, like, how can you judge yourself? You sound down on yourself. Oh, I should be better. I should do more. No, you should give yourself a break and go, oh, you know, I'm trying my best. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm really doing my best, and this is all I can give at the moment. And that's okay. That's good enough. And that's sort of like being kind to yourself. Yeah. Sometimes we're most hardest on ourselves. Yeah. You just don't know it, but you see people being hard on others, but actually they're hard on themselves. People are mean and you know, have hatred towards other people because they're feeling sad or angry or depressed. That's why they take it out on other people. Yeah. You see the bad actions out there in the world. The people are hurting. They're hurting other people because they themselves in their own heart is hurting deeply. That's why they take it out on others. And you see that. And other people are affected. When you see acts of cruelty, meanness, it just kind of drains your energy, yeah? Brings you down. So try to focus more on the positive, yeah? So Let's see. 10:30. Okay. Another Nasruddin joke. All right. So Nasruddin was in a restaurant having lunch with his best friend. Yeah. And so they were going to share a dish of eggplant. So to save money, right? And then they were arguing, oh, should the eggplant be fried or stuffed? You know, the Nasruddin wanted it to be fried and his friend wanted it to be stuffed. So they were arguing and arguing, and Nasruddin was just getting hungrier and hungrier. So he gave in to his friend. He's like, okay, you know, I'll give in. You know, you can have your stuffed eggplant, okay? And then so they were waiting for their dish to arrive, and then his friend collapsed in a bad way, yeah? So Nasruddin jumped up, and then the neighbor, the next neighbor said, oh, are you going for a doctor? And Nasruddin said, no, you idiot, I'm just going to see if I can change the order. So get your priorities right in life. Okay. I think that's enough. We'll go for questions now.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the floor? Yes.
Hi, Ajahn. How would you recommend us dealing with restlessness in meditation?
That's a good one. I do experience that myself. So I find that you sort of have to experiment a little bit. So sometimes the energy is too restless. Sometimes you have to go for a walk or do a bit of walking meditation to calm the mind down. Because when it's too restless, you sit down, it's going to take a long time to settle, or you just feel really agitated. It's not a good time. So you kind of have to use your wisdom and sort of, oh yeah, this is a time just to kind of do a bit of walking, take a stroll, a couple times around the park or something. Kind of look at nature, look at the trees, look at the plants and flowers. And then you kind of feel like, oh yeah, kind of work off some of that restless energy. And then you kind of maybe go walk slower, you know. You could see first you're walking fast for the first few rounds, and then you kind of see, oh, it's slowing down a bit, yeah. And then that's when you walk back to your room and see if you can sit. That's why in some tradition they do 1 hour sitting meditation, 1 hour walking. It sort of help balance that energy, and also give yourself a stretch of your legs. So I found that useful when I used to go on retreats of 1 hour sitting, 1 hour walking. But initially, usually when you start a retreat, there's a lot of restless energy. And try to experiment, see what you can do with it. Because sitting down and stopping, it's like a train going 100 miles per hour. It's going to take a long time to stop. So it you know, and a train going 5 miles per hour takes, you know, it's not that. And if you're a busy person with work and family, obviously it's going to take longer. Yeah? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that was really good. Thank you.
Okay.
We have an online question. Ajahn, can you please talk about how you developed faith in the practice?
Oh, okay. Sure. Faith in the practice. Faith, I think the Buddha, one of the sutras in Anguttara Nikayas is talking about the sequence. One thing leads to another. It's sort of like Paticca Samuppada, which is, what do you call it, dependent origination. So dukkha or suffering is one of the cause for faith in the Buddha, in the teachings. So those the serious practitioners always have heaps of dukkha in their life. I noticed that. The happy ones, oh yeah, they go to the BSV for a while. You know, they don't stay. The one that have real big dukkha, I mean really big dukkha, they stay around. You see them every week. Yeah. So initially, I think it was the dukkha in my life. It was just the difficulties of, living, finding a job, getting on with life, and then just seeing there's just a lot of pain and dukkha in my life. And then because of that suffering, I try to find a solution, right? When you have a lot of suffering in your life, you find a way out. You don't just sit there because it's just too painful to sit there. So you find a way out, going to some kind of spirituality practice, maybe psychology. I turned to psychology. I took many psychology classes, even had a degree in psychology, sort of counseling, to sort of finding a way out of dukkha. But that didn't really work. It didn't really 100% solve it. And then during the psychology course, I came across something about like compassion. The Dalai Lama prescribed compassion as a means to overcome some problems in life. And I kind of look into that, and then more into Buddhism and how compassion and kindness can ease some of that pain and suffering. And I find that to be true. Like the compassion, the kindness kind of eases the pain in your body and your mind. It kind of settles it down. And then learning more about Buddhism, I went into meditation. So I started meditating a little bit, like 5 minutes a day or something. Then it increased over time. So I found that was helpful, being kind and meditating. That kind of eased the suffering even more. And what I call happiness. So happiness began to arise. Basically, happiness is the absence of suffering. Yeah. So I saw more and more happiness arising in my life, less problems, less difficulties. And then I read the Dhammapada, and they talked more about keeping precepts like virtue, how virtue can help ease some of that problems of life. So if you refrain from killing, stealing, adultery, lying, and taking drugs or alcohol, you sort of try that out. You stop drinking alcohol as much, and you're like, why am I drinking this and wasting a lot of money, and it's not making me feel that good after. Maybe a little bit happiness, but then you have to pay for it after. It's not a wise thing to do. So with that, I started keeping more precepts, and I find, my life is getting even more and more happy, which is like the absence of suffering. So lessening suffering, happiness arising. So in that sense, following the Noble Eightfold Path, meditating, keeping precepts, being generous, those are the factors that kind of reduces suffering and bring happiness. So that's how following the teachings made me feel very confident in what's happening. It wasn't, because by that time I wasn't very, easily gullible. I didn't just believe in anything, so I was very skeptical at the time. So then, if it worked, then I would have confidence or faith. So then I saw that it was working, and that's when the confidence really arose. Yeah, so that's how faith arose in me, because the teaching worked. I put it to the test, and it worked. Yeah.
One more question from the floor. Good morning, Ajahn. Would you like to say something about the fine line between choicelessness and indifference? Like in religion, or Buddhism especially, there's a lot of talk about choicelessness, staying in the middle, like not getting attached. And then there's the idea of indifference, like just not caring. Do you understand my question?
Say that again in a different way. Choicelessness and indifference. Is that two different things?
Yeah, is it different, or like what is the difference?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take my take on that. So how I would explain that is, once again, is dependent origination. What you're experiencing now, or what you think, or indifference or non-indifference, is conditioned. if you trace back to what is the cause, why did I talk about dependent origination today, has a couple of causes. It wasn't just me deciding to do it. You could trace it back. It was because of you asked about it. It was Ajahn Brahm who gave a talk about Yoniso Manasikara, and many other reasons why I said what I said today. So if a person is indifferent, there's a cause for that. Whatever that reason, another person tell them to be reading a book about being indifferent, or just the attitude of someone being indifferent to you causes you to have that indifferent kind of like state of mind. It wasn't you who decided to do that. You know what I mean? It was cause. There's a cause for it. So you don't actually decide these emotions or these mental states. That's why the Buddha said there's no non-self, no one there. That's why we're not really responsible to what we do, really. But, you know, according to law, you are. Yeah. So you still go to jail, you steal something. Yeah, but there's a cause for that, yeah? There's a cause for that. Maybe you were hanging out with people who stole when you were young. You were hanging out the wrong crowd. That's the cause for that to happen. Or your past lives. Certain tendencies and inclination of mind is from the past. Some of it you cannot see because it's before this life. It's from another life. So some of you out there might have like born into a family that don't have these characteristics, but somehow you have that characteristic. You have that tendency, and you're the black sheep. But actually, it's not coming from your family. It's coming from the past life. Yeah? That's why you act the way you do, or you have certain bad habits or good habits. So you trace it back when you have that mindfulness and also the wisdom. You can trace back to why you do what you do pretty clearly. And then you're like, oh, that's why I did it. You don't really like take it serious after a while. You're sort of like, it's not me. Yeah, like these Nasruddin stories, where did that come from? Why did I tell Nasruddin stories? It's from Ajahn Brahm, Ajahn Nisarno. Ajahn Brahm tends to tell these funny stories, right? Some really ridiculous funny stories. And that's why I do the same thing. It's not because I decided to do it. I didn't even know about Nasruddin before. Yeah. Anyway, does that help? Make sense a little bit?
I don't know.
Okay. Say your question again.
Complicated philosophical question.
Yeah.
So it's like a question of whether there's free will or not. You know, if you're
free
just
will.
Kind of,
no, there's no
living out
free
your
will.
karma.
According to how I understand it, there's no free will, but there's free won't. According to Ajahn Brahm, there's free won't. So let's say a bad condition from the past, like let's say you have a bad habit, you can say no to that bad habit. And where's that saying no to come from? It comes from me. And where did that come from? From Ajahn Brahm, from other people, to the Buddha. The Buddha said you can stop it. So the Buddha came down out to the monks, say, oh, you can do that. You can stop it. To you, I say, oh, you can stop it. Say no. Don't do the bad stuff. So where's that coming from? It's coming from a chain. It's not coming from me saying that you shouldn't do it. It's coming from another chain. So the free won't is also conditioned. So you see that? Is this a process happening? Yeah, free won't or free will, it's conditioned. It's not coming from a self, a permanent entity. It's coming from other causes and conditions. So once you see that, you're sort of like, oh, yeah. It takes a while to kind of dawn on you. It's not something that will happen automatically. It's the conditioning from teachers that you come to talks a lot, you listen to them over years, you practice, you listen to the Buddha's suttas and all that. That conditions you to see the Dhamma. Reading suttas, hearing Dhamma, meditating, practicing, being with good friends. All these conditions coming together to actually having the right view and, right conditioning, the Noble Eightfold Path. And I think for myself, probably in the past I've probably had this conditioning because it kind of comes naturally to the teaching. I didn't had to struggle too much. It sort of like came naturally. Oh, that's right. It makes sense. The Four Noble Truths just kind of like, oh, that makes sense somehow. Intuitively, it made sense. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have another online question, or is that it? Okay, must be time for announcements then. There's a few. Okay, so thank you. Before I start,
Well, my
Venerable, thank you
pleasure.
very much for the talk and for the
Yes.
reflections. And as always, food for thought. Continuing practice. Okay, so I think the last day for our community Christmas appeals this morning. So there was a stall outside. A few people will have seen that on the way in. Then just Christmas, it is that time of the year. So this year, as in, I'm not certain if it happened last year, it certainly happened in previous years. I can't remember last year. So Goodwill Christmas lunch for those of you who don't have other things or would prefer to come here. There'll be formal offering of food dana at 11. So please, if you're free, would like to come along. And then after that, there will be a guided meditation in the hall. I think that's from 1 till 2. It's actually not listed here, but it'll be sort of, a short day. And then after that, Ajahn Nisarana will be leading 5 days of, internal retreat here. So it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. But it's you don't have to come for the whole lot. You can come for bits and pieces or come along at some stage during that time. And then we kind of conclude all of that. So there will be New Year's Eve celebrations. And if I can read this, so they start at 8:30, and they will obviously run through until we ring the new year in. I won't be here. I'll be somewhere else. I'm not certain where yet. But certainly these events can be quite joyous. So if you'd like to come, bring some finger food. There'll be a shared supper. And they'll can also bring little tea lights, some flowers and incense, because we'll make some offerings on the Buddha Rupa outside. And the program for that is on the website. Okay. And then just coming back a little bit, there's an additional Dhamma talk on tonight, Sunday the 21st of December, 7:30. Now that is Venerable Dhammajiva Mahatero. I don't have any information on him, so I can't tell you much about him. And even on our website, there's not anything much. So some people will know him. I understand he's well known in the Sri Lankan community, but I can't tell you much more than that. But there's an additional talk tonight if you've got the energy and the time. Okay. Then we're starting, most of the committee was at the Newbury last week, and we talked a little bit and thought about the challenges of running a large property. So one of the things that arose out of that is a working bee at Newbury, and these are going to be monthly. So the first one of this is going to be on Saturday, the 10th of January, and realistically, we'd like people to tell us if they can come. If you look on the website, there's a phone number for Terry, or in the newsletter, and if you can let him know. And it will be a situation where you can stay overnight at SOS and then come back. So please refer to that. Okay, next week, and I don't know how this is going to work exactly given the retreats, but I guess we'll get worked out. It is actually the Kalyana cleaning day. So the normal Sunday talk will happen next week, and then there will be a later meditation as part of the retreat day later in the day. But somewhere in between all of that will fit in the Kalyana meeting cleaning day. So again, if you're around and able to help, please come. Okay, 2 retreats we have, and both of these are currently booked. There are wait lists if people wanted to follow up for the Ajahn Vimoka retreat, 2nd to the 7th of January, and then the Ajahn Mudita retreat, 23rd to the 26th of January. Okay. Tomorrow night, Venerable Sumangalo will still be here, and he will take another meditation, which I'll give, will be worth coming to. Okay, and Tuesday night's our usual layperson meditation, and then next week, of course, as because of all the teaching programs, Ajahn Sarana will be down, and he'll be giving both the Sunday Dhamma teaching and the Monday night meditation. So I think that's it. I think I've got everything. And then, as always, if you can, please join us for the Pindapata and the communal lunch. And Ajahn, if you'd like to formally close the session, and we can go on. To oh, yes, Liz, you wanted to say. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm just going to speak briefly. I'm the monastic transport coordinator, and I'm looking for a male volunteer to collect Ajahn Vamoka from the airport on New Year's Eve at 5 p.m. and to take him and another monk to Newbury. So if you're able to do that, could you please see me? Or if you're online, you can send an email to monastictransport@bsv.com. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's just reinforce that. monastictransport@bsv.com. Not .au it is, actually. .net.au. It's okay. Thank you. All right, I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Close. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantam Abhivadeng Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namah